Today I'll be ranking every race in Shindo Life. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. To start off these rankings I have human. This is the default race, and it has no special abilities or perks. So naturally it's going to be the worst one compared to the rest of the races. To actually begin these rankings I have Shark. Shark is by far the worst race in the game, and it's in major need of some buffs. Its specialty is that it basically makes you stronger while on water. But the only problem with this is that being in water is extremely situational, and the perks don't even work in competitive. But if you are on water, Shark gives you double speed and passive chi regen. And the other perk to the race is that water-based abilities deal 1.5 times more damage and you take half the damage of water-based abilities. So in reality the only good perk for this race is going to be its increased damage and damage reduction from water-based abilities. And even that perk is only good if you use acid, because the actual water element is not worth using. And there is only a handful of bloodlines in the game that use water, and they aren't that good either. And if you are facing someone with the snake race, acid is completely useless. And to make things even worse for this race, Shark's E-spec sucks. It's just a worst version of one is a Mii's third move, and there are so many better E-specs to use. So to sum everything up, this race is just not good. Coming up next will be Snake. Snake is kind of in the same boat as Shark, but it's still got some usefulness. Its perks are healing from poison abilities like acid, and Snake Travel which increases your running speed, and its E-spec is a pretty good combo extender that teleports you to enemies too. Snake's main issues are going to be the fact that it relies on people using acid. The Snake Travel is nowhere near as good as other perks, and there is no point in using its E-spec when you can just use Wire and another race with better perks. But compared to Shark, this race is still definitely better. It completely counters a very good element, and its Snake Travel is good for movement. If Rel Games would ever want to make this race a little bit better, I think another perk would definitely help it. Maybe something like adding increased regen while in Snake Travel, or increased damage while using poison abilities. Now to begin the rankings of some actually good races. At number 3 is going to be Shinobi. This race is the easiest to get and require no DNA scrolls to obtain. Its perks are triple jump and double dash, along with an E-spec. That is an alright combo extender that'll throw a ton of dagger bombs and then teleport you to the enemy. The main thing people are going to use Shinobi for is its movement. Your third jump is extremely high, and with double dashes you can basically stay in the air for a very long time and dodge attacks fairly easily. But unfortunately the two other races above it do the exact same thing, but better, and with other perks to add on to it. This race is definitely better paired with a mentor with wider dashes, which will make its movement even more annoying to deal with. But I still think the movement of Puppet and Celestial triumphs Shinobi. At number 2 is going to be Puppet. I was debating between putting Puppet or Celestial at number 1, but decided to put Puppet at here at 2. Puppet's two perks are to jet boost jumps and burn immunity. Its C-spec is similar to Wire, but instead of putting enemies into an air combo, you pull enemies towards you. Puppet's jet boost jumps are extremely annoying to deal with, and can propel people with Puppet across the map when used right. This perk alone basically makes it impossible to hit any stray ability without setting it up first, and makes it very easy for Puppet users to evade attacks. Its burn immunity perk is alright, since burn doesn't do that much damage, but it's definitely nice to have a little extra health, especially when so many people use Pyromania. When debating between Puppet and Celestial, I thought they were pretty similar in terms of PvP, so I compared them in PvE, and decided Celestial was a little better than Puppet. Puppet is extremely good for movement, and if you don't have Wire, its C-spec is a very good alternative. So it's useful for getting around the map, but for reasons I'll go over when I get to Celestial, I think it has a slight edge over Puppet in the PvE department. And at number 1, to no one's surprise, is going to be Celestial. This is the hardest race to get, since it's the rarest, and requires you to get a DNA boss drop from the Kagoku event boss. But once you get this race, there is really no point in switching to any other one. Its perks are Slight Flight, reduced damage while blocking, and 2000 extra mode, as well as an E-spec that's a pretty mid combo extender and honestly not very good. but that's pretty common among these races, and honestly if you had Dage Wire, you probably should be using it. Where Celestial shines is its sight flight. This perk takes no stamina to use, and is extremely annoying to face. You can basically camp the air for an entire fight, and it makes it extremely hard for enemies to track you. It's also not bad as a movement option, and can get you across the map pretty easily. The second best perk of Celestial is going to be its 2000 extra mode. This is extremely helpful while boss grinding, and allows you to farm a couple more bosses before having to recharge your mode. It'll also allow you to outlast your opponent's mode in fights, and lets you fight at full strength for a little longer. Its blocking perk is okay, but less damage is less damage, and an extra perk is only going to help Celestial's case for the best race. So these are my rankings. Honestly, in an only PvP standpoint, I can see Puppet being first. But in both PvE and PvP, Celestial definitely takes the cake. But what do you guys think? Comment below your thoughts on these rankings, and if I messed up anywhere. And if you enjoyed this video, and want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.